Hello guys, welcome to my video, and today we're going to discuss the inverse variation. So here is the example of inverse variation. So the number of workers and its relationship with the time to finish a job. So inverse variation, so pagdami ng nagtatrabaho ay pag-unti ng oras na matapos ang trabaho. So, kung mapapansin natin, yung isa ay tumataas ang bilang, yung kanya namang kasama ay bumababa. So, like the relationship between the number of workers and the time to finish a job. Okay, so inverse variation is a relationship between two variables x and y that can be written in an equation of the form y is equal to k over x, where k is not equal to 0. So inverse variation, so we have y varies inversely as x, y is inversely proportional to x. Okay, so y is equal to k over x, where k is called the constant of the variation that relates the two variables. So the two variables that we are using is the x and the y. So x and y. Given this table of values and given, let us have k is equal to 12. And the values of x is 2 and 3. So using this equation, y is equal to kx, and the value of k is 12, let us substitute the values of x to find the value of y. So we have y is equal to 12 divided by 2. The answer is 6, and we have y is equal to 12 over 3 is equal to 4. So here is our table of values. The values of x and the values of y. And therefore, to find the value of k, syempre ang ginawa natin ay minultiply natin yung value ng x at saka y. So let us try. 8 times 2 times 6 is equal to 12, and 3 times 4 is equal to 12. So to find the value of k in inverse variation, we are going to use this formula. K is equal to kxy. So for two quantities with inverse variation, as one quantity increases, the other quantity decreases. So opposite sila. Kung yung isa ay tumataas ang value, yun namang isang quantity ay bumababa. So yun ang palatandaan natin na ang given natin ay inverse variation. So let us identify this given situation if this is an example of inverse variation or not. So first example, we have if there are more people sharing a given amount, then each person get less. Okay, so the answer is inverse variation. Why? Bakit kaya? Kasi pag dami ng tao na nag-share ng certain amount, eh syempre, pag-unti ng kanilang makukuhang amount. So, yun, magkasalungat or tumataas yung isang quantity, yung isa naman bumababa. That's why it is an example of inverse variation. Another example is less speed, more time is taken to cover the same distance. So this is an example of inverse variation. Bakit? So less speed, pagbagal mo sa pagdadrive or pagpunta sa isang lugar, ay mas mahabang oras ang iyong magugugol. Kaya siya ay inverse variation. Okay, so let's translate the given. So translate each statement into an equation, then use k for the constant of the variation. So the first example is C varies inversely as D. So what is our equation? Okay, so we have C is equal to K over D. Number 2, J is inversely proportional to K or to L. So therefore, we have J is equal to K over L. And the last, we have G varies inversely to the square of S. So our equation is G is equal to K over S square. So gumamit tayo dito ng square sa S kasi sa given statement ay nakalagay na square of S. So therefore, we are going to use S square. Okay, let us determine if the table below expresses the inverse variation or not. So here is the given equation where x is equal to 4, 6, and 8, and y is equal to 18, 12, and 9. So, gamit pa din ang ating equation or formula for the value of k para mahanap natin ng constant of the variation, we are going to use k is equal to kx. Okay. So, we are going to multiply 18 times 4 or 4 times 18. We have 6 times 12. And then, we have 8 times 9. So, the product of each factors is 72 kasi 4 times 18 is 72, 6 times 12 is 72, and 8 times 9 is 72. So therefore, this is an example of inverse variation. So another example. So we have x as 2, 1, and 3, and y 4, 2, and 6. So the same, ang gagamitin natin ay k is equal to x times y. So we have 2 times 4, 1 times 2, and 3 times 6. So kung mapapansin natin, yung 2 times 4 siya ay 8. Itong 1 times 2 ay 2. So 3 times 6 is equal to 18. So hindi sila magkakapareho. That's why this is not an inverse variation. So kapag minultiply natin ang variable x at y, dapat pare-pareha sila para masabi natin na siya ay inverse variation. Okay, let us find out what is the values of the constant of the variation and the equation of the variation. So given this table of values where x is equal to 80, 40, and 30, and y is equal to 6, 12, and 16, so let us first have our equation. Translate natin yung y varies inversely as x, where y is equal to k over x. Then, using the formula k is equal to xy, so we have 80 times 6, 40 times 12, and we have 30 times 16. Meron tayong k na 480. So dito, nahanap na natin ang value ng constant of the variation na siyang tinatanong. At kung tayo ay merong value ng k or constant of the variation, mahanap na natin ang equation by substituting the value of k to our equation, which is y is equal to kx. So therefore, y is equal to 480 divided by x. So let us proceed to the graph of the inverse variation. Kung mapapansin natin, ang kanyang graph ay hyperbola. At ang graph ng inverse variation ay hindi, ang palatandaan natin dito, hindi siya kumakapit or hindi siya nag-i-intersect sa ating x-axis at also hindi din siya nag-i-intersect sa ating y-axis. At lalong-lalong hindi siya mag-i-intersect or magpapasses through sa ating origin. Kasi pagka gano'n na nangyari, hindi siya ang graph ng inverse variation. Okay, let's solve. Given that y varies inversely as x, find the constant of the variation if y is equal to 4 and x is equal to 3. So, ang unang-una natin gagawin ay kukunin natin ang equation or dito sa statement, sinabi y varies inversely as x. So, therefore, we have y is equal to k over x. Then, after that, ay isasubstitute natin yung values natin ng y is equal to 4 and x is equal to 3. So, we have 4 is equal to k over 3. And to solve this, multiply lang natin yung 4 times 3. 4 times 3 is equal to k. Then we have 12 is equal to k. So, meron na tayong value ng constant of the variation which is 12. So, ganun lang yun kasimple. Substitute lang, multiply natin yung value ng variables na given para mahanap natin ang constant of the variation. Then, another problem. So, we have if n varies inversely as m, and n is equal to 30 when m is equal to 6, find n when m is equal to 3. So, katulad ng ating ginawa kanina, hahanapin muna natin ang constant of the variation and syempre ang ating equation at saka natin isosolve yung nawawala. So, kung mapapansin ninyo, dalawang set ito ng given values. So, isang set na ang n ay 30 at ang m ay 6 at yung isang set naman nawawala yung value ng n at ang given ay m. So, ang una natin gagawin ay syempre, kuhanin natin yung statement, yung equation sa statement. We have n varies inversely as m. So, n is equal to k over m. Then, substitute the values dun sa una nating nabanggit. So, n is 30 and m is 6. So, 30 is equal to k over 6. So, multiply lang natin. We have 30 times 6 is equal to k. Then, the answer is 180. So, if the value of k is equal to 180, we can now solve for the value of another n when m is equal to 3. So, same statement pa din tayo, n is equal to k over n. At ito na yung pinaka-equation natin na ang k natin is equal to 180. So, therefore, we have n is equal to 180 divided by 3. The answer is 60. So, thank you for watching and don't forget to like, subscribe, and also you can share this video sa inyong mga friends. At huwag niyo din kalimutan na i-hit ang notification bell para updated kayo sa mga susunod pang mga videos about mathematics. Grade 9 mathematics. So, lesson 2 po ito. Thank you!